Hello, sorry I'm a little bit late. I meant to write 12:15 and not 12 on the dot because I knew I was going to oversleep. And do about 10 million things today. Anyway, just gonna give us a few minutes, let people trickle in if they want to trickle in. But either way, hello. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm Fiadh Luna, or that's what I go by at least. I'm an energy and spirit worker, Reiki, and Healing Arts Practitioner. And what I'm offering is a community distance Reiki session for everyone here live and for anyone who wants to watch the replay. Reiki works through time and space. We don't have to physically be in the same place or watch things as they're happening for it to still work. So that sounds good. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to say. Never mind. I've been terrible at speaking or communicating recently. So I just stopped trying because I never know what I'm going to say. So pardon if I lose my train of thought. Hi, how are you? I've been working on slowing down and talking less because anytime I start trying to say anything, it's completely incoherent. Oh, and by the way, what I meant to say was I'm not going to be pulling too many tarot cards or oracle cards. I just have one deck just to as a collective energetic message. However, if you at any point want to chime in and have a specific intention you're working with, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever it may be, feel free to put in your intention and I'll kind of add it to the list when I'm channeling energy and see if I have any crystals that I can work with. I'm going to start in the center with Labradorite. This one really wanted to come out. I'm doing well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit under caffeinated. However, besides that, I'm doing great. So I'm starting with Labradorite because this one really wants to come out, and I really wanted to set an intention for everyone. The vibe I've been feeling is kind of stacking structure and organizing. Everything has been, I think everyone I know has been feeling very disorganized recently, and there's not a lot of solid structure or routine, and generally just feeling scattered. So Labradorite, it's amazing for executive dysfunction and anything involving, sorry, the lighting's really weird and my teeth briefly looked purple. Okay, anyway. Labradorite is great for transformation and change, of course, and protecting your heart during times of change. But also, there's all things executive functioning. So, knowing what to prioritize and when to do things and how to best organize the structure surrounding tasks. Not glamorous, but kind of important. I know when I kind of lose any kind of structure in my life, especially around this season, is when I have 10 million things happening all over the place. And often people are asking me for more to go different places. And I'm just like, I don't know how to put this on my calendar. I think a lot of people have that during this time of year, vacations, work, social events, all of the things kind of pulling your direction. How to learn Reiki? Typically, master teachers will teach it if you can find a Reiki class near you. And there's typically 3 levels, depending on what branch of Reiki you're learning in. I learned traditional Usui, so it was level 1, level 2, level 3. I wouldn't know. I've never been to Delhi. There's probably at least a few, I imagine. And I'm building in some Tibetan quartz. I love Tibetan quartz. They have every single one of these looks different. So Tibetan quartz is really good at integrating information and higher spiritual knowledge down onto the physical plane. That intuition that we get, sometimes we get intuition that you have no idea what to do with it. It's so out there. It's like, how do I even work with this? And working with our higher self. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she probably does online courses. I mean, you can find online courses. My teacher also, hold on. I believe some of her courses are also online. I'd have to double check. Like since the pandemic, essentially. Come on, focus. Focus for me. Okay. No, okay. Well, close enough. This lapis lazuli. Once again, also great for the intuition and higher spiritual wisdom and knowledge. Also, I would think, at least for me, I feel like it's great for decluttering and organizing also. I know. This is probably one of my first crystal pieces I ever got, along with a bunch of black tourmaline that my mom got me. Shout out to my mother for buying me all the cool things. It's also really good for gaining recognition. Like if you've been working really hard on something at work or any kind of place where there is an organized power structure, lapis lazuli is really good for, hey, if you've worked hard, here is your chance to gain some recognition for that. I mean, no, not really. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, but that was unrelated to Reiki. I mean, I think it might depend. There's definitely like certain branches that have different rules. I'm not a big fan of that. And at least traditional Reiki, no. Not that I learned of, at least. I'm just kind of grabbing at random, like I don't have a real intention. I'm gonna pull an oracle card real quick. Speaking of organized, I am very disorganized. And this is my favorite, one of my favorites. So many things are my favorite. The Kim Crane's Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck. The card that came out is Sublimation. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to read from the book so that you can like hear how it's written. Sublimation is one of the steps of alchemy, of one of the stages. I believe it's, here, I'll look at it. Calcification, dissolution, coagulation, sublimation, mortification, rotation, separation, and conjunction. So yeah, there's sublimation. I'm not an expert at alchemy by any means. I really only kind of tried to start learning it. I mean, what even is an expert on alchemy? But I've really only started attempting to learn it probably last year. So sublimation is the great alchemical operation of air. It occurs when there is enough heat to change a solid substance into a gas, causing it to rise up and away. Therefore, when sublimation is present, there is an aspect of celebrative elevation, of ascending above and gaining a greater perspective, Birds in flight, mountain peaks, ladders, and balloons are all sublimation images. Yeah. As with all operations, it has a shadow potential. Through ascension, there is a risk of separating from others, of sensing oneself higher or above. This risk is particularly great in spiritual traditions that offer a linear model of achievement. The divine alchemist rises humbly and supports the upliftment of others, always in touch with the cycle of humanity. Service is the natural balancing agent for sublimation, and may be the next rung on your ladder. One of the advice on the side is hike up a mountain or gaze out of an airplane window. You may feel wonder, awe, or a shift in perspective. Use this energy to create. So, we definitely need to the energy here, and this is kind of making sense with the crystals I've pulled so far. It's sometimes when you're going through a lot, we start kind of disconnecting our ego or ourselves from who we fully are. We become very unrooted in who we are, essentially. As a person, as a human. I mean, this is a big part of my own practice as like a healing arts practitioner, is growing up in the kind of, I don't consider myself a witch anymore, but like witch Tumblr, essentially, when I was like a teenager. And being online a lot, learning about spiritual matters, being around a lot of love and light people. And often a lot of it was about kind of denying the humanity of who we were and being so out there and claiming and just being very egoic, which I've talked about this before. It's not necessarily deliberate. However, there is a risk of like going so deep into intuition or seeing signs or thinking you're a starseed or an empath that you forget, okay, but you're also a person and you're around other people. And you can't judge others from the outside and while denying the humanity of people. And the fact is, humans are a bit of a mess. We're not like perfect creatures who are up here in the ether. We're down here. And that's a big part of my own healing practices. Okay, sometimes people get angry. Sometimes people get jealous. Sometimes we do bad things. Sometimes we do things that other people don't like, and it doesn't make us bad. So it's being able to integrate this wisdom and higher spiritual knowledge and the kind of energies of the heavens with the perspective of being a person and having flaws and making mistakes and not knowing things, essentially. So you might be going through some sort of transformation or awakening process. Have some grace for yourself while you're doing that. It's okay to not be like linearly growing. And I don't have all the answers or solutions, but this is meant to support you in allowing and detaching from this need to be perfect and kind of grounding it a bit and treating yourself with empathy and compassion and treating others with it. Hi, Palpatine. How are you doing? So I'm going to bring in also, along with this labradorite, some fire quartz. If I can get it to force. I love these little clusters. This is really good at breaking up blockages and bringing in motivation. Like kind of the energy of fire of being able to see a goal, see something you want to do and actually take action. And moving through any blocks that make you feel stuck, essentially. I can speak, I can say words. I feel like there's some grounding stones that I want to bring in that I'm searching for in this very messy collection. I don't. Oh, there. Ha. Found one more. One more piece of tourmaline. Bringing in just a bunch of tourmaline. I love tourmaline. Just breaking up any negative energy, protecting the space. It really just like absorbs any bad vibes going your way. It depends on the session. Some I do, some I don't. I'll usually just go outside for a while. Maybe eat some fruit. I don't usually feel drained. I usually feel really like that's the best way I can describe it. I'm not necessarily when I'm doing any kind of spiritual work, I'm not prone to feeling exhausted. I'm prone to being like too much energy. So going outside, cleaning my house, eating some fruit. Or sometimes I do nothing and I just ride the wave of feeling insane for a while. Let me see, I'm gonna go to my timer. And yeah, by the way, I mentioned this before, but if anyone here has any intentions they want to work with in particular, let me know. I'll try to build that into the intention setting. However, if you just want to do for greatest healing good, that also works. Here's my timer. I never used this pendulum. I'm going to try it. I don't know why I feel really called to use it. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet. We'll see. It is made of red jasper, though. And I'll probably start the healing session really soon, unless someone else has an intention. All right. So with that being said, if you want to receive this Reiki, you can just say yes in your head out loud. Let me first talk to you a little bit about what Reiki is. Well, I typically use a combination of Reiki and intuitive energy healing. I typically channel from kind of the spirit world. However, Reiki itself is considered universal life force energy. It is the energy that surrounds all of us, that we are made up of. This kind of building block life force, the ki or chi, sometimes known as prana. And how this works is can set a practitioner will set an intention. It could be any intention from mental, physical, emotional. So if you have a physical issue like carpal tunnel, or you just want pain relief, to dealing with anxiety or depression or a mental issue or spiritual, maybe you want to connect to your spirit guides or build your self-esteem. And how it works is it works within this energy that you already have. So you are essentially healing yourself. I'm just channeling the energy. And it's paying special attention to whatever you need most. And it's never going to cause physical harm because it's working within your own energetic body, and your own energetic body isn't going to harm itself. Like if something isn't good for you. Yeah, and even like manifesting, an intention could be, I want to manifest abundance. It's very large sphere. It covers a very large sphere, and it works within your body to support you and how it needs to show up at that moment in time. Hope that makes sense. Sorry about this. Yeah, pardon, hold on. My cat was in the animal hospital yesterday and the day before, and I'm going to scooch away for like 2 seconds because I do have my roommate just asked me to check on her until we get her to another appointment at the vet tonight. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to go away for like 3 minutes. to go check on her because, ill cat. And then we'll get started on the session. Yeah, she has diabetes and she went into not quite diabetic shock. That was scary when that happened. But like really low blood sugar. So trying to manage it. Thank you. I will be right back. She actually looks pretty good, much better than she did yesterday. Yeah, I feel like she got diagnosed quite a few years ago, and within the first year, she went into remission. But then it came back. And it's also because she's not necessarily elderly, but she is older. She's always had a sporadic appetite, so she doesn't always like to eat, which makes it much more difficult. And we keep having to adjust her insulin because we've gotten her those sensors. They just gave her a new one at the animal hospital yesterday, but almost every single one of the blood glucose sensors has wound up breaking or not working, which is kind of frustrating. So we'll see how these ones go. Hopefully they're better than crossing my fingers. Hopefully this next vet visit goes well and better than the last 3 days, which were kind of frustrating. And expensive. Animal hospitals. Oh boy. Let's see, how long? Okay. So I'm going to channel this energy. I'm going to play music. I did not plan that all today. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Where is my music? Someday I'll have everything together. Today is not that day. I appreciate that. Yeah, she definitely, I went up there and she looks much better and she's like came out to greet me and is walking around and not sitting in a dark corner looking miserable. So, all right, I'm going to channel this Reiki for about 25 minutes and I'm going to let you all get settled in, take a few deep breaths. Connecting to your heart space. If there's something that you feel gratitude for today, just take a moment to appreciate, big or small. And thank you for showing up and being here today. When everyone comes together with a common healing intention for greatest good for all, strengthens the intention and healing for all of us together. That being said, I'm going to play some music. And you can relax. If you're ready, you can reconnect back to this present moment. Maybe rub your hands, wiggle your fingertips, ignore the very loud motorcycle outside. Flex your feet, point and flex. whatever helps support you and get grounding back to this present moment. Have a great rest of your day, Sun God. I feel like I'm on another dimension right now. Pardon. That was very, I don't know about y'all, but that was very high vibrational. Very, very, very high vibrational. It's out there in the ethers, which is kind of my favorite. You're welcome. I want to thank everyone so much for being here with me today. It means a lot, and I love being able to channel energy and work with people in kind of a communal way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't post a new one last week because I filmed like 3 different ones and they all felt weird. But we'll see about creating some ones that like feel more aligned this week, hopefully. Yes, of course. I'm so happy to be here and I love being here with everyone. And thank you all so much for showing up and being a part of this. I may attempt to be back on next week. I'm going to see with my schedule. But either way, I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're watching this on the repeat or the replay, you can still receive this healing at any point. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I can speak words. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go eat and try to ground.